Hello and welcome to Kit 6, and this is the Bendy card. Some of you have chosen to do the turquoise, which will have this beautiful topper. Some of you have chosen the purple, which has this lacy topper. I'll be making up the purple today, but it's all relevant whichever colourways you use. It is exactly the same construction. Just going to go through the kits with you. You'll notice this time we've got an information sheet, and I thought you should find this useful. It has all the measurements on that I've cut for the card. Tells you about what is included in your kit, what you'll need from your own stash, all the scoring lines, and all the details about cutting the pattern papers. The rest I will go through with everything on the video. So I'll pop this to a side. So in your kit you will have your lovely topper, which comes in 4 pieces. So it has the lacy bit and the backer on both of them. Pop those to a side. It has your piece of foam tape. You don't need a lot for this. It has an envelope that has got your sentiments in, and it also has your gem in as well. And you've got your 5x7 envelope. You have got 4 pre-cut pieces of either purple or turquoise. Oops. And these are cut to 5x7. Pop those to a side. You've got 1 piece that is cut to 6x5. We'll pop that to a side for the moment. You've got 2 smaller pieces. One is cut to 3 1/8 by 1 inch. The smaller piece is cut to 2 3/4 by 1 inch. We don't need those at the moment, so I'll pop those to a side. And then your lovely pack of papers. You've got hearts, a tartan, stripe, a pale spot, a plain, and a darker spot. Pop that to a side for the moment, as we don't need it just yet. I'm going to start by scoring the 4 pieces of purple or turquoise card. I'm just going to pop those to the side and pop these up here. What I will suggest at this point, I suggest that you actually use the inch sizes, not the centimetre sizes. You will find it fits better. There is only one exception to that, and that is the small pieces, which we'll come to and I'll explain later. So all these, by using along the narrow edge, pop it into whichever scoring medium you want to use. You can either mark it with pencil and score it that way, but these want to be scored by 2.5 centimetres straight down the middle. And I do these 3 times to actually stretch the fibres. It makes them fold so much easier. So that is 1 piece. Onto the second piece, again on at 2.5 inches, and again just doing it 3 times, it does help it to fold a lot easier. Again on the third piece, 2.5 inches, and the third time, and the 4th piece onto 2.5 again. And that is then. So we're just going to pop those to a side. Pop this down on the floor for the moment. These need to be burnished quite well. So with the right side facing, you want to fold your card up and burnish it. So when it's actually burnished, you're actually seeing the wrong side of the card. So again, right side facing, fold up and burnish well. And this will all become evident as we go along. So again, fold up and burnish well. And pop that to a side. We now need to go on and cut our pattern pieces. And what you need to do, if I can show you on the turquoise, you need to choose the same pattern for both the front panels. Then you're on your other panels, you want 3 of one colour and 3 of one pattern and 3 of another pattern. So I'm just going to go and choose which I'm going to use. And I think on this one, let me have a look and see. I think I might go for the stripe for the front. And do I do the spots? I think I'll do the tartan. Whoops. Tartan and do I want the, yes, and the darker spots. So that is what I'm going to choose on mine. So using your information sheets, I'm just going to get my cutter, and you need to get from the front of your card, you want to cut 2 pieces at 6 3/4, but make sure you've got your pattern going in the right direction. So because I want the stripes going down, I am going to put mine to 6 3/4. So if you can see on here, I'm going to put this at 6 3/4, which is just here, and run my blade up. Then in width, I need them at 5.5 centimetres, which is just here. So that's one piece. Again, 5.5 centimetres, 2 pieces. So those are for both for my front panel. So I'll pop those to a side. And then I'm going to take 3 of each of these. So again, it is at 6 3/4. And then 5.5 centimetres, or you can do them at 2 1/4. So it would be 2 1/4 on these. So that's 1. 2 1/4 or 5.5 centimetres. And 2 1/4. Oops. So that's 3 of that pattern. And then again, I'm going to do this at 6 3/4. Get it the right way around. If you're using a patterned one for this, make sure that your pattern is going in the correct direction. Again, so 2 1/4. I want 3 of these at 2 1/4. Oops, I want to come off. And again, 2 1/4. So then I'm just going to pop my trimmer away. So I'm going to put the 3 of one colour to there, 3 to another colour. So what we need to start and do is, because on this one you need to open your panel out so it's flat like that, and we're going to put our 2 sheets that we've cut onto the panel like that with glue. So I'm going just using a nice wet glue, not too much, you just need to run it just round the edge. You don't need to put a lot on so that your paper warps. It is only a fairly thin paper, so it doesn't need a lot. And just pop it nicely central onto the front of your card, and then we can do the same with the other side. And it's better to pop your panel pieces on before you start and pop the actual card together. It's a lot easier because you can have it then flattened. So make sure that you line up your bottom edges and your top edges. You can see that is lined up there and is lined up there. So that's the first panel, so pop that to a side. So our second panel, we're going to put one of each of the pattern ones, like that. Whichever way you do it, try and make sure you keep them in the same orientation. So whichever is on the left, the same, carry that through. So again, we'll add that with glue. This is something quite different, is this card, and I hope you like it. It was one that Maxine from Maximum Crafts did, and I really liked it. Again, just line your paper up and pop it down on your card. Again, now this way, make sure that whichever way you do these, that your pattern is going in the right direction, especially if you're using the hearts. It doesn't matter so much with the tartan and the spots, but definitely with the hearts. So just going to line this up. Do that like that. That's the second panel. So again, opening out, spots on the left, the tartan on the right, or whichever pattern you're choosing. It's not a difficult card to put together, and it is quite nice because you can use, if you've got nice medallion style toppers, this would make up with anything different, and you can put different sentiments on for different occasions. So that's that one, again with the tartan. And when you put these together, you will need to hold them until your glue dries. It does take quite a bit of strain. So again, just line that up like that. So that is the third one. And on to the last one. Again, I'm working left to right. Popping some glue on. And pop this onto the piece of card. And that's that one. And the last piece on here. And just a bit of glue around the edge, not a lot. And up that. Pop that on. So now we need to start and pop these together. And we're starting with the front one. So we want to fold it closed, so it is now right sides inside, and we need to make sure that we put plenty of glue around the edge, certainly down on the fold. Take one of your next pieces and line this up. It's easier if you actually stand it on its edge like that. Match it up and really fold it together. So this does take a little while to just grab. pull that all in together. Now that is, I'm using that as my right hand side, so I'm now going to turn it over and I'm going to use this to do the left hand side. Again, plenty of glue down the edge. And on this now, I need to make sure that I've got the tartan on this side and that follows through. And this is especially important because if you're using the hearts, they'll be upside down if you do them the other way around. So again, make sure that this is thoroughly stuck down and that one is thoroughly stuck down. Then when we turn it over, we've got 2 blank pieces, and we are now going to add our final piece onto there. So again, it's plenty of glue. It is when it wants to come out. Get all the way around the edge, down the middle, all the way around, especially in the middle because that is where it'll take the most strain. And again, making sure that you've got your card in the right, going in the right direction. Again, line it up so it matches completely. So we fold it like this, squeeze it. The other side, make sure it's thoroughly squeezed. And then when it's open, that is why it's called a bendy card. So as you can see, you've got that. So we're going to pop that to a side for the moment because I want that to just dry off properly. So I'll pop that over. We're now going to go on to the 5x6 piece, and on this we need to score this. Get my scoring board. Need to score this one at, if I just make sure I've got it right, at 1/2 inch. So I need to score it at 1/2 inch down that side, turn it round completely and score it at 1/2 inch at the other side. Again, turn it over and do this 3 times so that it's going to be a nice crisp crease. And like that. And that. And that. And then you've got that now folded like that. Now going to cut our plain piece. Oops, sorry, it's on the floor. Our plain piece of paper. And at this point, this is when, once you've cut this, you would stamp it. So on this, I need to cut this piece to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Let me work this out. Cutting 5 3/4 by, haven't I put that piece there? Oh yes, 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. I do apologise, to 3 3/4. And I'm going to stamp mine with, when I find it, I've just got a little sentiment that says, "To my lovely friend, wishing you a day as special as you are." So I'm going to pop my piece of paper in and just make sure that I have got this in the right place. Yes. Now I am going to use grey, but no, actually I'm going to use purple. I'm using VersaFine Imperial Purple. Just think it'll go quite nice actually on here. And just lightly tap it. I wouldn't use black because we're not using black anywhere in this card, but a nice colour, either a nice dark turquoise or purple or a grey. So let's just let me put that down. Just going to catch that little bit again. Missed pressing that bit. So there, and that is my lovely sentiment now that I've stamped. Let's move my stamping platform. I'm just giving that chance to just dry off a little bit. Very carefully, I'm just going to run my glue around it. I just don't want to press it too much. Again, just a little bit of glue just right round the edge. Just a little scribble in the middle. And I'm going to pop this right into the middle. With try and get a little even border on both sides. So you have that now nicely on there. This is where we're going to need our 9mm tape. And it is necessary that we use a strong tape, either a blue or a red line tape. And we're going to pop this and run it right up to the fold line on both sides. And again on the other side, right up to the fold line. Just make sure that it is fully stuck down. So this is where we're not working on the front for this, we are working on the back panel for this. So we need to take, what I would do first of all is line up where you want it to sit. It wants to sit evenly. Now on mine, I can run mine, if you can see, down the straight line of this tartan, or I can use it with the straight line of the dots. But we only work on one side at a time. So I'm just going to take my tape off. And I'm going to work mine on the, if you can see it, on the dotted line here. So I'm working on and get it lined up so you can see where I'm going. I'm on that line of dots here. My tape has folded back, so we'll start again. So you can line the other side up that isn't turned back, and then press down when you've got it lined up the other side and just pull your tape off. That now has secured that side. So you can now go and take the tape off for this side. Again, I only take a little bit off just to make sure that I am lined up true before I take that off. So you've got that on your back panel, and now you can see why it's bendy. So if you go like that, it pulls that forward. So as you can see, that is lovely, but it folds completely flat for posting. What we're going to do now is we are going to put these panels together. Always match first. I know I've got a bit missing there, but it won't show. You won't have the bit that's missing. But these do line up completely. Oops. Like that. Then I'm going to use my glue on this, but you can use spray glue. But it's quite easy to use glue. Ordinary glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a line of glue just under the row of dots, and run it all the way around, following the shape of the topper, but just under the line of dots. And again, what I'm also going to do is on some of the wider areas, I'm just going to put a bit of glue. It'll just help to hold it down. Doesn't want to be a lot, but just enough to just hold it down a bit. And then round the centre. And then taking this, I'm going to now, you'll see where there's a little hump there, and that will then line up with that shape there. On the other one, it's fairly easy to do on the turquoise one, but then just work all the way around like that. Line up your edge, press the centre. So we'll do the little one next, and this one, actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my board over so you can see better on the pink side what I'm doing. So on this, it's just a line just round the outer edge. Doesn't want to be a lot, just enough to bring it round. As if you've got for spray glue and you're comfortable using that, use the spray glue. Just some little dots on the thicker areas in the middle. I'm just going to turn this over and ease it round, and that fits in nicely. Leave that to a side for the moment, and we are just going to go on to these two small pieces now while those just dry off. So on here we need a scoring board. Oh, hang on. Actually, I'm going to have to use this one, because on here I need to use the centimetres to score this. So on the 3 1/8 one, we need to first of all score this at 1 centimetre at both ends. And then again at 1.5 centimetres at both ends. And what I'll do is, I've done that on my scoreboard. What I will do now, I will do the other one on my hoogie board. So you can see that whichever board you have, it will work. So the first one is going to be at 1 centimetre. If you can see, I'm doing it 1 centimetre and then 1.5. Turn it round and it's 1 centimetre and 1.5. What we need to do now is we need to burnish these. So fold them right in. So that's the 1.5 centimetre line, and then this is the 1 centimetre line. So you've got like a little, if you can see, like a little pocket. This is important to have these, else your bend does not go as well as it should. So if you can see now, I have got that sort of shape. We do this on both pieces and score it, burnish it on both lines. So again, we've got like that little pocket. So this is where we need the 6 centimetre tape, and this goes on the outer line. This is most important, so I'll show you. So it doesn't, you need to leave this piece here, the narrow bit, free. So it only goes on this outer edge, not on the inner edge. And do this on both pieces. Again, just take that off. Again on the smaller piece. And again, and then I'll just show you again that you don't put it on the inner score line, just on the outer score line. So again, you can see that that inner one is left free of tape. Again, that one is left free of tape. Just put the smaller piece to a side for the moment, and we're now going to add this to the back of our main panel. So we need to take off one piece. No, we don't, I apologise. What we need to do is fold those pieces in, and we're going to stick glue on the whole of the back of this. And take this and pop it right in the centre of your panel. So it's like that. Needs to let that dry. While that's drying, I'm just going to put my bit of foam tape just onto the back of the small centre one. There's more than enough. You only want 2 little bits. But I gave you plenty. Again, just that little bit there. And I take the backs of this off, and I'm going to just pop these now I've done it, just put a little bit, oops, bit of glue on. Make sure that that is in the centre when you put it down. And pop this just into the centre of your panel, and it'd be the same if you're doing this one as well. So we pop that like that. What we're going to do now is we need to actually pop these onto the front of the card. Now this is where it needs a little bit of juggling, because I don't know whether you can see, I don't think we can see actually how it's done on there. I can't see down it, but what I'm going to do is you just take the tape off one side first, well, if it wants to come off. That's got it. And off the other side. And these sort of need to stay just sort of half tucked in like that. So that is how it needs to be. So if you can see, they're still tucked in like the little panels that they were. So make sure I've got the right way up, and then position this, making sure that it goes exactly across the centre. Line it up like that. And what I do is I slide my bone folder and just press it down like that underneath, so that when that has dried off and when you want to bend it, that will bend like that. So you can see that that'll bend out. Once that's dried off, that will bend out. So it's a bendy card like that. We're now going to pop the panels for the, oops. So I don't want the turquoise ones because I haven't done turquoise on this. So, but it's exactly the same whether you're doing turquoise or the lilac. So I'm just going to put the turquoise away. Pop them back into my little envelope. And again, if you want to use spray glue for this, that's fine. But they do work quite nicely with ordinary glue. Just pop my lid on there. So what you need to do is position your smaller piece, if you can see there, the narrow bit to the top. And I'm just going to pop the glue onto the back. Just dab it round, don't want to be a lot. And using my tweezers, I find it's a bit easier. Just position that. Like that. And we'll go on to the 4. Some of you will have thinking of you, and you actually do this exactly the same, lining it up. And again, pop that to the bottom, let that dry, pop that over there. Then we're going to pop the friend on. This, make sure you try and get little bits just round the curl, the scroll at the end, because that is the one that may just lift. Again, just odd little dots. Doesn't want a lot. Just bring it down. And just on the little tail there. And again, I'm lifting up with my tweezers. I am, if I can get hold of it. And popping it on just nicely. Fitting it on. So now we've got our For My Friend. What we need to do now, and this is where it may seem a bit strange, but we need to tuck both those pieces behind, and we need to line these up and just pop them on. So it's just a little bit at the bottom on friend first, and again just line that up there and just stick it down. So if you can see, there's still a little bit of the panel showing. That doesn't matter because they're on the same colour background, so it all blends in. And then we're going to put For My there. So again, just a little bit along this bottom edge here, and line that up just to the side of the eye, like that. And you do exactly the same for the thinking of you. So I'm just going to pop my glue away for the moment because I don't want it to dry up. And we do exactly the same with this as we did with the other. We take both pieces of tape off, and again they want to be like the others, sort of pulled round, so it's like a little cup. And again, just position this nicely. Don't push it down until you're sure you've got it in the right place. Then just press with your bone folder, just slide your bone folder up and just press down, so that then it stands proud, the same as this one does. So this stands proud, so that there, you can ease that up. And we're just going to now finish it off with the gem. Some of you have got turquoise gems. Unfortunately, I didn't have the bigger ones for the turquoise, so I've put you the turquoise dewdrops. But on this, I'm just going to put, when I can get it off. It doesn't want to come off very well. That's got it. I'm going to pop that just into the middle there. So that is now finished our bendy card like that. And that, as I say, it eases off. So you've got your bendy card like that then folds flat for posting. So that is the one we've made today. That was the sample one. And that is it in turquoise. So I hope you enjoy making this. If you have any problems, get back to me and I will help you. Thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.